The Stardew Valley 1.6 update is here. Okay, it really dropped like 9 months ago, but whatever, I'm playing it now. Anyways, it adds a bunch of new stuff to the game. Paired with the new additions, I'm also adding the Stardew Valley Expanded mod pack, which means more characters, more locations, and even more chaos. So basically, I've packed in as much new content as possible. Now, some of you might be wondering, Zoe, what happened to your previous Stardew series? It's in the trash now, babe. She's gone. But don't expect much from me because, hey, I'm no Stardew Valley expert. Cause like, who has the time to really read the wiki? Did I mention I'm playing to perfection? Let's play! Starting off, I went ahead and made my character, and of course she looks like the previous character I made because, fun fact, I make the same character in every single game I play. What can I say? I like consistency. I named our farm Snorlax because I love to sleep. My favorite thing, I wrote money, obviously, because who doesn't love a good paycheck? And I skipped the intro because, you know, we get the gist of the game, okay? Oh, and most importantly, we're going with the dog because dogs are just superior to cats. Please don't fight me in the comments. Diving into our first day, I did what every player does. Cleared my farm a little bit, planted my 15 parsnips, and cleared my farm some more. And since this basically got my energy to 0, with half the day still left, I went around town looking for forageables and talking to people. Because the Stardew Valley Expanded mod adds several more characters, the introductions quest is a lot longer. Great! If I wanted to network this much, I would have joined LinkedIn. As I'm walking around town, you guys can probably notice things look very different, including my farm layout. The expanded mod literally changes everything, which means a lot more walking for me. I mean, they could have at least added a speed boost because the player moves incredibly slow. But you know, it's actually fine because the 1.6 update adds some enhancements for that. So I'll only suffer for a little bit. Diving deeper into spring, it was time to get serious. And by that I mean I fished a lot, because nothing says future farming mogul like pulling soggy newspapers out of the river. My farm looked more like an overgrown forest than a place to grow crops, so I cleared a whole 3% of it before calling it a day. You know, baby steps. I went ahead and made my first stop at the museum to drop off some minerals and artifacts. Hey, it's not much, but it is a start. But speaking of progress, I did make sure to get the backpack upgrade. More space means more loot, and more loot means, well, more money, of course. And trust me, we're going to need a lot of it if we're aiming for perfection. And speaking of perfection, I should probably explain what that means for those of us that don't already know. Basically, it means completing 100% of the game's content. This means shipped every farm and foraged item, build all 4 obelisks? Is that how you say that word? And moving on. Build the golden clock, complete all monster eradication goals, reach maximum hearts with all villagers. Yes, that includes the Stardew Valley Expanded villagers. Reach level 10 in every skill, find all star drops, cook every recipe, craft all craftable items, catch all fish, and finally, find all golden walnuts. I also have some other personal goals that I would like to achieve, like getting all achievements, getting mastery skills, getting all wallet items, and several more, but we can get into that later. Moving on to the community center. Opening it feels less like progress and more like accepting a second job, which I guess I'm fine with because, I mean, that's what we're here for. I'm collecting everything from cauliflower to sardines as if prepping for some bizarre end of the day's feast no one told me about. Again, I'ma just roll with it. Met the wizard and he brewed me some questionable hallucinogenic tea and suddenly I'm fluent in ancient Junimo. Guys, when you're playing Stardew Valley, you have to learn to not question these sort of things, okay? But most importantly, on my first, my first week? Days 2 through 7? Guys, I'm looking at my script, I'm sorry. But most importantly though, I got that dog and me. I'm kidding, of course. But I did give him the perfect name. Also, as if things couldn't get any weirder, I got a letter from Susan saying she's stuck behind a landslide. I don't know why she's making it my problem, but I'll do what I can, Susan, okay? Are people in the valley okay? Am I okay? No, I've been sitting here recording my voice for 30 minutes now, and I'm scared. Now, by this point, I was in full grind mode, because if there's one thing Stardew Valley teaches you, is that there's always something to do. First up, the beach bridge. I grabbed the 300 pieces of wood to fix it up because apparently I'm responsible for the infrastructure around here. You know, I didn't realize I was working for Tom Nook, but whatever. Back on the farm, I planted more crops, and I hit level 2 foraging. Robin, just like Susan, sent me a letter talking about her lost axe like it was my problem. Naturally, I dropped everything to go find it because she can't be bothered to retrace her steps. I did eventually return it to her though, but for 250 gold and a friendship heart. You're welcome, Robin. Meanwhile, I was on the hardest mission to gather clay, for the silo of course. Apparently, clay is the rarest substance known to man because I dug up every square inch of my farm and every dig spot and barely found enough. Don't even comment about the clay farming hack. Yes, I've tried it. Yes, it's been patched. At least I got to break up the continuous monotony with the egg festival. It was me versus a bunch of grown adults and 2 children. Naturally, we fought over the eggs like it was Black Friday. Did I win? No, guys, I didn't. Don't even bring it up in the comments because it was a little embarrassing. What the heck? What the heck? She found 9 eggs? This happened to me twice now. This is some bull. I'm muting. Goodbye. On a bit of a brighter note though, I did finish the construction bundle at the community center. It's one big step for Pelican Town, but one super tiny tiptoe towards my ever-growing to-do list. Now at this point we've hit mid-spring and you know what that means. It's salmonberry season. I don't know why, but for me, I was only getting like 1 berry per bush, which was really frustrating. Did I still go around and collect them anyways? Yes, we are desperate for money, people. The highlight of day 16, I upgraded my fishing pole, so no more struggling with the training rod like a total noob. I'm gonna end up eating those words when I encounter a legendary fish. Then I went to Pierre's on a Wednesday, because apparently remembering his day off is beyond my capabilities. But on an extremely positive note, I built our first farm building. I still don't have the clay for a silo, so I can't really use our coop just yet. I mean, I could, but I'm not buying hay, so that's great. Day 18 was a trip to the mines. Mining, productive. Combat was a little chaotic. You know, I just swing the sword and I pray, okay? But from that, I did get to level 3 mining and level 2 combat, so something is clearly working, guys. Stopped by the community center again, check. Gave Jody this cauliflower she's been begging me about, check. Finding clay, still unsuccessful. But actually, I'm just kidding. I did a little bit of research and found out you can get clay by digging dirt in the mines. So now I can finally build a silo and start getting animals. And in other news, I did finish the spring crops bundle and hit foraging level 5. On day 22, since I now have the silo and the coop, I went to Marnie's to buy some chickens. But guess who wasn't home? She not even home, Marnie. I need some chickens, girl. I'm trying to get paid. I need chickens for eggs, eggs for mayonnaise, and mayonnaise to sell.
12 seconds later.
There go Marnie right there, guys. Marnie, get inside and sell me some chickens. That's all that I ask. Sell me 2 chickens right now. Anyways, I upgraded my pickaxe to copper and did some fishing. Also found a boat at the beach and thought, Ginger Island, here I come. Fun fact, I have never really played the 1.5 Ginger Island update until recently. So I didn't know how to get to Ginger Island and thought that this was the way. It wasn't. It was for Grampleton Fields, which is a map edition part of Stardew Valley Expanded, and it honestly doesn't add much. So yeah, wasted my time. The next day I did some hay collecting and made another attempt at buying chickens. And surprise guys, Marnie is still in my hay. You've gotta be kidding me. You've gotta be kidding me. Pause, because I'm researching this. I'm researching Marnie's schedule. Stardew Valley Marnie. Because 2 days in a row, Marnie, are you serious? It is a work day. It's Tuesday at 9:20 a.m. Let's see. Marnie runs her own shop at Marnie's Ranch from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. each day. Except Monday and Tuesday. Okay, Zoe, okay. Now I look stupid. Later, I attended the flower dance, did some more fishing, and finally bought chickens. Marnie decided to show up for work, so I guess miracles do happen. Got an apple sapling because why not? We will actually need it for the community center, so it's actually an important cop. I did hit level 40 in the mines. After mining, I did make some mayonnaise machines and hung out with the chickens. They're already more loyal than half the villagers in this town. Yes, I am talking to you, Marnie. Then I went back mining, hit level 50. I also went and checked on my monster eradication progress. Spoiler, I'm nowhere near close to any of them. I mean, it's only month 1, so we have time. We have time, guys. For the last few days of spring, I crafted some tappers for trees, donated a bunch of stuff to the community center and museum, got the mushroom cage, finished the adventures bundle, and the 2,500 gold vault bundle. And guys, that is a wrap on spring. Honestly, I feel like I got a lot more done than I initially anticipated. Purr, Zoe, purr. Purr. The start of summer wasn't that much different from the start of spring. You know, I did foraging, bought the summer seeds, farming, fishing, watered plants, mining, etc. Although for the first week there were a few notable mentions. I did meet Susan for the first time, so it seems like she escaped the landslide. Congrats, Susan, we're happy for you. I secured some crab pots, I'm assuming from the community center. Hey guys, I can't go through hours and hours of footage, so we're just gonna play the guessing game here. I'm pretty sure it was. Editing Zoe helped me out. Did some more community center drop-offs, tended my chickens. Thanks Marnie for those, hope you're at work today. Watered my plants some more, yada yada yada. Most importantly for this first week though, I did upgrade my pickaxe to iron, which will make things a lot easier when mining. And I also started the construction on the barn. But I think the weirdest thing is the new 1.6 update of the green rain. The only major change with this green rain is that there's a ton of trees, bushes, fiber, moss, you name it, anything green that's outside, it's occurring during the green rain. All of the villagers, although for some reason think it's the end of the world. Remember when I mentioned that apocalypse? Yeah, I'd be thinking the same thing, guys. So turns out they're all cooped in the old saloon. So not a bad idea, but let's relax a little bit. Now, for some reason, I decided to buy all of the seeds I could possibly hold, and now I have to water by hand every day. That includes all the mixed seeds I found from the bushes and fiber from the green rain, so yay for me. Don't know why I decided to plant those as well, but whatever, we're down bad for money apparently. I'm gonna keep talking about money, just for warning. But because of that, I decided to visit Olivia and buy sprinklers from her because watering this much every day is taking a lot of my time. Day 9 was pretty productive. I collected my crops from farming, finally bought some cows for Marnie. Yes, she was there. Great job, Marnie. Decided to rearrange my coop and my barn. I just felt like putting them lower on my farm was a bit more practical. I don't know why. I just, I don't know. Mind your business. Bought even more seeds because I'm insane. Did a lot of fishing, did a lot of crab potting, and then put more items in the community center. By the next day, I was able to reach level 80 in the mines and got my first monster hold on guys, C-O-M-P-E-N-D. My dogs are barking. Compendium? Guys, I think that's how you say it. I'm not gonna look it up. Leveled up my mining and farming skills to level 5, and for some reason, this is that lack of Stardew knowledge I was talking about at the introduction, guys. I chose the rancher path instead of the crops path. If you choose the tiller path, it will eventually lead you to the artisan path. And the artisan path is the best path for money earning purposes. So let's just say I'm gonna have to pay a $10,000 payment to the statue in the sewers to get that changed. Good job, Zoe. Love you. Did more of this, did more of that, tended to my animals, collected mushrooms from the cave, and then later went to the beach luau event. I think I brought mayonnaise. Guys, I'm gonna be honest, when I'm narrating all of this, I don't have the footage in front of me. I'm going off my notes that I took. I don't know what I brought. I think I brought mayonnaise, but all I know is that the mayor could care less for what I had brought. At this point, I do my daily... At this point, I do certain farming chores. At this point, I do certain farming chores pretty much every day, so I don't even want to keep saying I did this, did that, yada yada yada. So let me just tell you what my farming chores are. I tend to my crops, water them, plant them, etc. Talk to my animals, get their loot, Zoe? I get their drop, I don't know. I get their products, animal products, that's the word. I tend to my cave, and whatever else I need to do here or there, like cutting rocks, breaking trees. Anyway, from that point on, let's just assume I do all these things every single Stardew day. I don't know if you already encountered this cutscene, but I did make some lightning rods because we will need battery packs for that grandpa's shed on the left side of our farm. There's supposed to be a scene with like Robin coming to see like the shed, and she's like, oh, this looks terrible. Let me fix it up for you, girl. Let me get these items though. And I'm like, okay, Robin, I'm gonna do all those things. Great. Also, right after that, I leveled up my fishing level to level 6. The next day, I bought more melon seeds because I think at this point I was trying to get the 5 quality melons, so I didn't have to wait till the fall to get the 5 quality pumpkins. Did some beach foraging, collecting seashells and whatnot. Leveled up farming to level 6 and combat to level 5. We're actually moving up pretty quickly. I'm actually surprised by my skills. It's that Stardew knowledge I got, guys. It's that Stardew knowledge. No wiki used. Day 14 was just a day in the mines, pretty much. Getting ores, getting my combat leveled up. And I went to, I think his name is Gil, ? To check on my monster eradication goals. And at some point, I completed the 100 insects. So if I could find that footage, that'd be great. Days 15 through 21 consisted of a lot. Starting off, I bought the final backpack upgrade, which was amazing. I get all of the space I need. I used one of the battery packs from my lightning rods to put one in the lockbox by the tunnel, starting the key, or Mr. QI. I don't know, I personally say Mr. QI. But anyway, starting his quest line off. Then immediately after that, I found a rainbow shell at the beach and put it in the box by the train station. Other notable mentions, I completed some of the community center bundles, donated more minerals to the museum, and most importantly, made it to level 100 in the mines, getting our first star drop. This is a major step towards our perfection goals. I also managed to die at some point in the mines, and this was for the first time, but Robin did manage to save me. And I didn't even lose anything valuable, so it's not like it was that bad. Now going back to the community center, because I was able to finish off the mines, I was also able to complete the boiler room bundles to unlock the minecarts. This is a game changer because this will make moving across the map so much faster. I don't know if I said it, but with mining also, I did manage to reach the bottom of the mines and get the skull keys, so later unlocking skull caverns once I get the bust. Wait a minute, guys, hold on. I see that you're halfway through the video and you haven't subscribed yet. What are you doing? Were you planning to subscribe? Why don't we take a second so you can go ahead and just click the button. It'll only take 2 seconds. Did you do it? Did you click it? Okay, cool, great. Spoiler warning, I'm now angry because I somehow deleted Am I recording? I somehow deleted a bunch of my voiceovers, so now I'm redoing a bunch of them, guys. Love that for me. Anyway, where did we leave off? Boiler room bundles? Sure. Then I was fishing by the river and found this new sign talking about a competition happening soon. But basically for the next 2 days, I went to this fishing tournament, and I think it's actually called a trout derby. I went to the trout derby to try to find golden tags and win prizes. So basically for those 2 days, I got my fishing leveling up. I will say though, I won a very cool boiler hat. And yes, this is the start of my hat addiction. Day 22, I opened more geodes and stumbled across a mystery box that I earned from the fishing derby, which is another new 1.6 feature. I completed the vault in the community center to finally unlock the bus so we can go to Skull Caverns, which the last bundle gave me a crystallarium, and with that I put a diamond in to start duplicating. Those diamonds will be intended to give the villagers in the city so I can start making friends. Because some reason to make friends in this game, you have to give everyone gifts. How conceited of them. How greedy. I cleared more of my farm to discover a meteor is blocking my shed. Great. And I couldn't even break it because I didn't have the right pickaxe level, so now I'm gonna have to upgrade my pickaxe. But I did find a way to the secret woods from my farm, and it looks very different with the SVE mod pack. On other notes, I created cheese presses for my cows and got level 7 foraging. Day 23 was the long anticipated visit to Calico Desert, and everything has been moved around because of SVE. Here, I bought some beetsies because I needed it for the Mr. QI or Mr. Key. Did we discuss how to pronounce his name yet? Anyway, for his quest. And then I finally went to Skull Caverns to mine and get my combat level up. Later in the night, I got a new cutscene saying that mystery boxes could now be found. That includes in trees, in dig spots, from monsters, fishing, etc. The next next few days were a bit uneventful, but I did upgrade my pickaxe to gold so we can finally destroy that meteor by my shed. Gathered hardwood in the secret forest, gave George a pepper for his knee because apparently that counts as medicine, and completed the quality crops bundle. Moving on to the last 3 days of summer, I gave minerals to people to start making friendships. It was going okay, you know, everyone liked their gift. Can't complain. I bought an upgrade for the big coop and broke down that meteor I discussed prior, and got level 8 farming. Because I was finally able to enter my shed, I got a new cutscene with Robin where she talked about repairing the shed. She said I needed to gather a bunch of materials, yada yada yada. It was gonna take a while for me to repair the shed is what I'm saying. After talking to Robin, I visited the bookseller and bought Way of the Wind, Part 1. To move faster, because as I complained at the very beginning of this video, our player runs incredibly slow, and I need a solution bad. And right after I bought that book, I was chopping down trees and found another book. So that's pretty cool. I put some more stuff in the community center, then went back to my farm to break down the crops I had to prepare for fall crops. And then I finally crafted sprinklers so I no longer had to water crops by hand. For the last day of the season, I did my farming chores, found a secret trash can with a book in it by the blacksmith. Interesting. I don't know who's hiding trash cans and who's hiding books in trash cans, but I like it. Soon after, I went mining to work on the monster eradication goals and found my first prismatic shard, which means I can get the galaxy sword. And trust me, we are going to need it. We're going to need it. In the final event for the night, I attended the Dance of the Moonlight Jellies, which is my least favorite event because it meant literally nothing. It was just a cutscene. So yeah, won't be going back to that ever again. Fall is finally here, and let's just say, guys, this is where I pick up gears a little bit. Switch gears, pick up gears. I don't know the saying. So yeah, day 1, I bought new seeds to start planting, and I made sure to get all of the essential seeds, of course. So, you know, actually nothing too drastic. Yeah. And then after that, I collected hardwood in the secret forest. So I did 2 things that day. By day 2, my apple tree finally grew, and I collected the apples to donate to the community center, and I think that was the last thing I needed for Marnie's bundle in the community center. It's always Marnie. It's always about Marnie. Collected more hardwood in the secret forest because I needed it for something. Oh, I needed it for my shed. Guys, it's really hard to think back to what I needed what for, but I think I needed hardwood for my shed, so that's why I've been collecting it for the past few days. Went to the desert because we needed to get the galaxy sword, so did that. Very cool cutscene. This is actually my first time playing Stardew, and I got the galaxy sword. Then when I got back to Pelican Town, Mayor Lewis decided to tell me about special orders, which we utilized almost as soon as possible. After my big coop was done, I bought ducks from Marnie. She was home, guys. Lucky me. Collected more hardwood and then went to the mines to work more on my monster eradication goals. But you can come in here if you want to, Vegas. Your mom's gonna be home soon. Boy, I also focused on foraging in Cindersap Forest because I think I needed to level up my foraging still. I don't remember. Fun fact, guys, for this whole playthrough, not in this video, but for this whole playthrough, I've been calling Cindersap Forest Cindersnap Forest. Don't know where I got that from, but didn't realize until literally 2 days ago that it was Cindersap Forest. So if I said Cindersnap anywhere during this video, that is why, and I apologize. After accepting my first special order, I went back to the mines to work on it because it was the Cave Patrol quest, which took me about 2 days to complete. On day 6, Clint sent me the recipe for a geode crusher, which does save us some gold from crushing geodes at Clint's place. Does it save a lot of gold? Not really, because it only costs 25 gold to crush a geode, but hey, it does make things a little easier. I also started the construction of the big barn so we can get cows, so we have cows. Then while I was running around my farm, I discovered I had a secret cave on the side of a cliff. Basically, it was like a mini mines or mini quarry because any gem could spawn in there. Because I finished my first special order, I received my first prize ticket from the mayor where I got broccoli seeds when putting it in his prize machine. Now, I'm no diva or anything, Mayor Lewis, but I feel like we could have better prizes than broccoli, especially for the first prize. That's all I'm saying. Work on your prizes, Mayor Lewis. I gave you a diamond the other day, I'm pretty sure. But while I was there, I did put 10 beets in Mayor Lewis's fridge to complete Mr. Key's weird quest thing that he sent me, which he then gave me another one to feed the sand dragon his last meal. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know what this means. once. And did I cheat to look it up? Yes, I did. And for the last part of day 7, I went back to the mines to continue working on my monster eradication goals, where I decided to talk to the dwarf for once and bought his safety manual and rarecrow. Week 2 wasn't super eventful, but I did get a lot of stuff done. Starting off, I found Linus's basket and gave it back to him. I don't know what he gave me in return, probably some money that he doesn't even have. Don't know where he got that from. Crafted some kegs and planted more crops. I got my first ancient fruit, not really sure what to do with it, but the professionals say to make it into seeds, so that's what I intend to do with it. Went to Marnie's again to buy some goats for my farm. Does anybody actually know which animal is probably best for like money consumption, or I guess money producing, money, you know, which animal is the most profitable in this game? Day 9 was particularly frustrating for me because I was trying to complete a quest for, what is his name? Dominic? Stardew Valley Dominic? Stardew Valley characters? Demetrius. His name is Demetrius. You know, I never talked to Demetrius, so... Anyway, I was trying to complete a quest for Demetrius by fishing in the lake to lower the population. Little did I know I was fishing at the wrong lake because he does not specify. So I wasted a day of fishing. Thank you, Demetrius. This is why I don't talk to you. The next day, I went to Calico Desert to give the sand dragon his final meal. How is anyone supposed to, like, know what that means without looking it up? I'm not sure, but he wanted a solar essence, and he gave me nothing, I think. He gave me nothing. He gave me another quest, I'm pretty sure, to go back to my farm and look in the lumber pile, which I definitely forgot to do for like a few days. So, my bad, Zoe. When I got back to Pelican Town, I upgraded my axe to gold and got a tree from the mayor's prize machine. I also went beach foraging, fished a little bit more, went to the mines to work on those eradication goals, and got level 8 mining. Day 12, the bookseller was back in town and I bought the price catalog from him. Then I visited the traveling merchant and bought wool. Day 13 was influential for our monster eradication goals as I completed the skeleton and Dougie's goal. 2 in 1, baby. Then back on my farm, I made a bunch of lightning rods so I can get the shed repairs done faster. Vegas, you're distracting me and I can't figure out what I'm saying. Spoiler alert, I don't get it done during this video. And then at some point I got level 9 farming. So 1 more level to go, guys. And then for day 14, I completed a quest for Marnie to give her amaranth. I think that's how you say that. Then I bought the construction of the first house upgrade, mined in Skull Caverns, where I found a cool turban hat. Spoiler warning, I wear it for 1 day before I find the next cool hat. And then finally got level 8 combat. Day 15 was pretty basic, went back to the mines to work more on my monster eradication goals, but I found the coolest hat known to man. Like, you can't tell me this ain't a cool hat, guys, like, for real. Be honest with yourselves. Day 16 was very important as it was the Stardew Valley Fair, but that's not why it was important. It was important because you could buy a star drop from Pierre, so I needed to be on my A game. Days prior to this, I had been planning what items I would bring for the display case, and guess what, guys? I finally won something. Mary Lewis gave me a prize that I can't remember off the bat, so editing Zoe helped me out. And for the remainder of the fair, my dog's crying in front of me, guys, so I'm gonna just figure out what he needs. Vegas, what's wrong? You need to go potty? You're like, where's your mama at? You need to go potty? Are you coming in here or not? Where am I even at? Now, obviously, I needed to get a bunch more tickets or tokens or whatever it is they have at the fair in order to actually get the star drop. Plus, I was feeling a little greedy today. I wanted to get more than just the star drop. I wanted to go shopping. Who doesn't love a good shopping spree? Anyways, most people would play the gambling game, but when I tried doing it, I was just not doing good. So I played the next best game, in my opinion, which was the target game with like the slingshot and everything. I probably played that game 20 times in order to get all the stuff I wanted. Needless to say, I did indeed get the second star drop, and that's what we're here for. Following the Stardew Valley Fair, I upgraded my hoe to copper, collected mixed seeds from the prize ticket machine in Mary Lewis's house, bought an iridium fishing rod, and customized it with the perfect bobber. Now, today was the start of a very tough challenge, getting all of the fish for each season. For some reason, I decided to start with the legendary fish for fall, which was the anglerfish, which actually was pretty easy to get, so did it boost my confidence up a lot? Potentially, but we don't need to talk about that right now. And then later in the day, I did get to foraging level 9. Day 18, I gave my best friend Marnie a birthday gift to get our friendship points up. So went from enemies to friends really quick. You're welcome, Marnie. I'm a great friend. Did some other farming chores here and there, bought some more seeds, and then I went to Calico Desert to visit the casino for the first time. And I'm a little confused on how it works, but one thing about me, I know how to play blackjack, so don't even worry, y'all. I'm gonna get us this money soon. The next day, I bought some stuff from the traveling merchant. Don't really remember what I bought, but hey, show it on the screen, Zoe. Day 20 was vitally important for me and Marnie's friendship. Because we are such best friends, I was able to enter her bedroom and get the mayor's special purple shorts. Now, as a nice citizen of Pelican Town, I did the responsible thing and gave the mayor back his shorts for some reason, I don't know why. And then for the rest of day 20 and for all of day 21, I attempted to play Journey of the Prairie King and failed tremendously. The last week of fall was a lot like the other weeks, a bit of boring progress and a bit of substantial progress. I went back to Skull Caverns and mined a bit, got some iridium ore, and got to level 10 mining, so woot woot, only 3 more to go. I upgraded my hoe to iron and played Journey of the Prairie King a lot more. I still failed, so maybe I should take that as a sign to stop playing and wasting my time. But most importantly from this final week, I completed the pantry room in the community center to finally unlock the greenhouse. And trust me, we're going to need it because winter is coming. I also opened a bunch more geos and opened the minerals to the community center. At this point, I was starting to question why I didn't get the sewer key yet, because I definitely have donated 60 items at this point. But apparently SVE changes it from Gunther to Marlin. So Marlin is supposed to give me the sewer key. And the only way to get the sewer key from Marlin in the first year is to have enough heart points with him. And I don't. So that's going to be a year 2 goal. Day 27 consisted of a lot. I started the day with my farming chores, then I went straight to the secret woods to fish to try to find that fish that's needed for the community center bundle. Did not find it, but luckily the traveling merchant was selling it a few days later, so I did end up getting it. Then I went to Calico Desert to find the sandfish, had more luck there. Then I went foraging, I mined in Skull Caverns, and then went to the Spirits Eve Festival and found the golden pumpkin at the end of the maze. Oh, and I also got level 9 foraging. And day 28 was probably the most boring day of the entire season. I farmed, I collected hardwood, and I bought pumpkin seeds for the greenhouse. So, very uneventful, but a very productive fall. The winter season consisted of a lot of running around, especially since I couldn't really plant any crops on my farm. Day 1, I collected hardwood from the secret forest. Again, we're still trying to get the materials for the shed, but it's starting to take a minute, you know? Then, leaving my farm, I saw Krobus walking around and running away. But I eventually caught up to him and got the magnifying glass to start finding secret notes. Because I couldn't really use my watering can, I decided to upgrade it to copper. I collected my prize tickets that were waiting for me and got 3 mystery boxes. And finally completed the crafts room in the community center. The next day I was able to go mining in the quarry, since that's what the craft room unlocked, and went into the secret cave to find the golden scythe. Then in Cindersap Forest, I stumbled upon a tree stump that apparently had fallen. I somehow missed that completely, but I was able to turn it into a little house for our new neighbors. Somewhere during my adventures, I found the Jack Be Nimble book to unlock a new power. Couldn't tell you what that does, but you know me, editing Zoe, figure it out. Opened up mystery boxes, organized my chests, because things were getting way too messy for me. Went fishing and caught one of the harder fish to catch, the legendary glacier fish. Caught it on my first try, I believe. If not, we're gonna pretend that I caught it on my first try. So like, I know I'm normally muted, but I just have to congratulate myself, guys, because normally that is a freaking hard fish to catch. Second try. And then the weirdest thing to occur thus far, I saw a possum running around Pelican Town. Don't know if there's any more to that, but I guess we'll find out later. Or we won't. Either way, I don't care. Finally met my new neighbor on day 5, and he's asking for a lot so far. He wants fish, and one of those fish is not in season. So I'm gonna have to wait before I can even do this first quest for him. And then at some point I upgraded my coop to the deluxe coop. Don't know when I did that, but I did buy rabbits for it. Bought some more shipping bins to put around my farm, because running around my farm, it's pretty big and it gets pretty tiring running from one end to the other. So I placed 2 more, one by the of animals, and then one near the mushroom cave. And then while I was at Robin's, I started the construction on the deluxe barn. And after I did that, because I was already in the area, I went to the mines to catch a ghost fish to finally complete the fishing tank in the community center. On the morning of day 6, Gunther came to my house to tell me he's going to give me a reward, and it's money. Now, Gunther, I wish you would have given me the sewer key, but I'll also take money any day of the week. Did some farming chores here and there, and this was the first day I actually cooked for once, and I made a fried egg and a maki roll. Both were needed for the community center. Then after, I went to the mines to work on some more monster eradication goals, and I finally completed the bat skull, which gave me this cool vampire rank. After my deluxe barn was built, I bought some pigs and sheep from Marnie and went back to Skull Caverns, which got my mining skill to level 10. Now, I don't want to be crazy or anything, Zoe, but didn't we say we already got level 10 mining, or was that fishing? We're just gonna roll with it. Week 2 consisted of 2 different festivals. One was the Festival of Ice, and at the end of the week was the Squid Festival, which was a 2-day event. Both involved fishing. At the Festival of Ice, I did in fact win the fishing contest, redemption for the Egg Festival, and then later in the day, I made more kegs and organized my chests again because things just get messy on my farm. Later in the week, I processed more geodes and donated minerals to the museum, bought a few different tree saplings for my greenhouse, and found a secret note which led me to the green strange doll. I believe I gave it to Gunther, but I could be lying. On day 11, the bookseller was back in town and I bought Way of the Wind, Part 2, which increased my speed by 1% more. It was definitely a big difference from the start of the series, but I want to be like Sonic, guys. I want to be here and there in 10 seconds. Kind of like how SpongeBob was in that one episode. Day 12 and 13 consisted of me participating at Squid Fest. I actually don't understand how this ranking system worked because it was different from the Trout Derby, but you catch squids. I think the quality of the squid mattered somehow. Anyway, every time I caught a squid, I just would talk to the guy and he would either give me a prize or he wouldn't. So I don't know. I didn't really look too much into it. And day 14 was monumental because I finally upgraded my pickaxe to iridium. And then later in the day, I got forging level 10. So guys, for some reason, this next part of my script is incredibly long, but we're going to get through it. So that must mean I did a lot. Day 15 started with farming chores. Then there was a train passing through the city, which it was nothing special. It was just literally a regular train. Nothing dropped out of it. It was boring. Waste of time is what I'm trying to say. I went fishing, and then at night I went to the night market festival to fish and shop. I went to the mermaid show and I knew there was like a secret pattern, and I even looked up the pattern, but apparently I did it wrong. So that's embarrassing, but don't worry, I redeemed myself on night 2. Is redeemed a word? Redeemed? I redeemed myself on night 2. And then because I was so confused by the mermaid show, I did end up passing out. It was fine. I just should have paused the game. Don't know why I didn't. On a positive note though, I did reach level 10 fishing. Okay, I'm getting so confused. Clint asked me to bring him another iron bar. Didn't he ask me to bring him an iron bar last month? I don't know. Anyways, Clint asked me to bring him another iron bar, I think. Could be lying. I don't know what these notes mean. I don't know who took these notes, Zoe. I soon realized I was running out of hay for my barn and my coop, and I didn't really want to use the grass that's already on my farm. So I went around town and collected the town's grass, and it does count towards your hay bundle, so. Stole hay from the town, essentially. It's fine. They don't care. I went back to the mines to kill a bunch of bugs for Willie's special order request. He needed bug meat for fishing bait. Understandable, I get you. I'm a fisherman as well. Not in real life though. 'Cause who's touching a fish, guys? I ain't touching no fish. Planted my ancient seeds in the greenhouse, and then later I accidentally gave Abigail the amethyst that was intended for Emily. You know, this is what happens, Clint, when you ask me to do 10,000 things. But yeah, I gave it to the wrong person. Then I went to the night market to conclude my winter fishing goals and got the blobfish. At some point, I visited the wizard to give him a void essence, which he needed for some sort of quest line. I think it was essential because later in the playthrough, I talked to him a lot more. Day 19, I went to the secret forest to collect more hardwood, and then went back to Calico Desert to mine in Skull Caverns, where I did in fact die. But I didn't lose that much, so basically it was an easy way back home. I planted a sweet gemberry and sunflowers in my greenhouse just to get some sort of crops growing, and then later I leveled up my combat to level 10, which was the final skill needed to enter the mastery cave. So I went over there the next day to learn about the new potential unlocks that I have. But in order to unlock any of them first, I have to get 10,000 experience points before I can choose which one to unlock. Right after, I went to Robin's to upgrade my house to add the nursery. It's not really needed at this point because I have no marriage candidates, but I will eventually want the basement, so I'm gonna have to get it anyways. I opened more geodes, donated them to the museum, and then speaking of donations, for the community center, I am unfortunately stagnant until spring because I need a pomegranate, red cabbage, and truffle, which 2 of those I have ready. The red cabbage I still need, but I'm hoping that the traveling merchant will have something for me. But at some point, I was able to find another dwarf computer and was able to make my own farm computer to give me daily statistics of my farm. The next day, I accepted a mail request from Robin to give her some hardwood, and luckily, because she was doing my house upgrade, she was already on my farm, so that was the easiest quest I have done thus far. Now, the most important thing I have done in this playthrough so far is happening right now. Apparently, you can put hats on your pets. Now, for my final week of the year, I got a lot of stuff done. I got the secret note talking about bring maple syrup to the secret woods, which I did immediately because I already had one on deck. That meant I met the bear, and he told me he has a shop in Forest West, which is part of SVE. He mainly sells syrups and like found foods like cave carrots, fish, yada yada yada. So needless to say, I did not buy anything from him at this time. Then went to the bookseller and bought all slither legs to allow me to run faster through grass and crops, which, as I keep saying, running in this game is very essential to me. Day 23 was not eventful at all. I literally did farming chores and ran around the map trying to look for something to do. Winter has its ups and downs. You can either do a lot of stuff or do nothing at all. Day 24, I went back to Robin right after she finished my house upgrade and bought the horse. Then I discovered that you can change colors of the buildings on your farm. So I changed my house, coop, and barn to have this green sort of aesthetic. Don't you guys love saying the word aesthetic? Aesthetic. Shut up, Zoe. Let's continue. But while I was at Robin's, I discovered that SVE adds another kind of coop and barn, which is the premium coop and barn. Now I understand why the bear is selling those syrups, because I need a bunch of fur syrup. When I got back home on my farm, I decided that I need to make things prettier to match the new colors of my buildings. So I decided to make stone tiles to decorate and organize my farm layout. Day 25 wasn't too eventful. I did finish putting together my farm layout from the previous night. And then I went to Feast of the Winter Star, where I gave Penny her gift. I believe it was a diamond. And then funny enough, her mother was my secret Santa, and she gave me beer. Pam, you have a problem. Like day 23, day 26 was not eventful at all, but at some point I bought the catalog from Pierre, so I just spent the day decorating my interior because I miss Animal Crossing and I want to just decorate something. I'm tired of using my brain. The next day, Robin was done building my horse's shed and I got to meet him. And of course, like Kirby, I gave him the perfect name. Later, I went to Clint and upgraded my trash can to copper because, winter is not very eventful, so I was like, might as well upgrade something. So, upgraded my trash can. Then I took on a special order to collect 2 dozen eggs for Gus. On the final day of the entire year, I opened geodes and donated them to the museum. I feel like I have said that for every week of this year, but hey, it's the truth. Then immediately after, I stood by the playground for a few Stardew hours until it hit 12 p.m. so I could get the secret giant Junimo plushie. Then I went over to Clint and gave him the material needed to destroy the boulder by the summit, which typically that would be locked until the very end of any regular Stardew Valley series. So I'm curious to see what's behind there. And then as I was walking around, I ran into Emily and finally gave her that amethyst that Clint has been trying to give her. Clint, in the future, let's man up and do it yourself. Then I went back to Clint to give him an iron bar that he needed for something. Apparently, I'm doing a lot of favors for Clint for some reason, so he better give me something in return. And then finally, for the evening, I went to the Adventurers Guild to see a new SVE cutscene, which introduced us to Alasia. Alasia? It's something, y'all. Anyway, met her for the first time and then checked on my monster eradication goals. And that is a wrap on my first year in Stardew. So that concludes my first year in Stardew Valley Expanded. I actually got a lot more done than I initially would because, as I said at the beginning of this video, I am not a Stardew Valley expert, but I did get a lot done. There are some areas I wish I did better in, like I wish I would have gotten the community center much earlier and visited Ginger Island, but we still did a lot of cool other things too, like getting a few star drops, upgrading my house and farm buildings, and getting level 10 in all of my skills. So guys, as I'm editing this video, I have already started working on my next 100 days, so stay tuned for part 2. I did put a lot of time and effort into making this specific video, so if you have enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe, and leave a comment down below to be featured in the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!